What can you do?
Well, you can go to the Roadhouse and have a beverage, and hopefully F-350 doesn't drive into the dining room.
Yeah, but they'll still be open, though, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're open every day.
Rain, sleet, snow, car through the dining room, boat on the dock.
Boat on the deck.
Snow.
I don't think the bartender realized how dangerous drinking whiskey with glass in it could have been.
Oh, yeah. She could have died.
Could have perforated a bowel.
She just took a chunk of glass out and
knocked it back.
Sometimes you got to.
Sometimes you just have to drink the glass.
Sometimes when life gives you glass, you drink it.
You mix it with whiskey and shoot it.
You let it cut up your innards and then you shit it out.
You're gonna need a bigger boat. I lied.
He touched the butt.
The Force will be with you, always. Why is the rum always gone? Go ahead. Make my day.
Roadhouse.
How many
Roadhouse.
times do you think we can say Roadhouse before it gets annoying?
So it's called the Roadhouse? No, it's just called Roadhouse.
So it's a roadhouse.
So it's a Roadhouse.
And it's called the Roadhouse. Get it?
Don't you get it?
I don't get the joke.
I think that's what they were trying to do.
I'm sure it was supposed to be a thing.
It was. Yeah, it was
supposed to be funny.
It's just conveyed very, very poorly.
Yeah.
I think that was like their way of being like, yeah, we're remaking Roadhouse. Deal with it. Like, isn't that funny?
Yeah, well, they put Roadhouse on the cover of the film, so like we knew they were remaking. We knew that already.
All the advertisements said Roadhouse, so I was like, oh shit, they're remaking Roadhouse. Okay, I get it.
Well,
I get the premise.
Welcome to the Roadhouse. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome
to Roadhouse.
We are here in summertime. Welcome to summer.
Yes, it is officially.
You can see all the summer.
Look at all the summer.
Look at it all.
Yes,
there's palm trees behind us, I bet.
We have.
There'll be something beachy.
We have pet flamingos.
These are wild flamingos.
Yeah, yes, they're wild. We got them from the local pet shop here.
We're actually in Florida right now.
Yeah,
we're in the
crazy.
Keys.
Definitely don't believe us.
Flamingos that will sit still for this long, expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Yeah, we're dropping a lot of money for your entertainment this summer, and yeah.
And by that,
I think it
we
shows.
mean we stole the flamingos. We stole them.
And we're gonna talk about Roadhouse, the remake, not the original.
Yes, no, and we're going to do our very best not to compare it to the original.
Yeah, because
two different movies.
Everybody, looking around online at stuff, is everybody was like, it wasn't the original. That's why they made it again.
Yeah.
And they're like 40 years later, too.
Well, and it's like people are surprised they're remaking movies.
Right.
It's where have you been the last 25 years?
They've been doing it for years.
Every movie.
Right.
Every movie has been remade. All of them. This was the last one to get remade.
and
it was all of them.
There is a list of movies that you should not remake. Like, they're not going to remake The Godfather. They're not going to remake... Like,
never say never, Steve.
All right. Well, maybe they will, and I'll eat my own fucking words. That's fine.
I really hope they don't.
But, like, Roadhouse is not one of those movies that is immune from being remade. Like,
no,
everybody get over it.
Yeah.
It's an 80s beachies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's okay. Also, they've been remaking movies forever.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, they shouldn't have touched this one. It's like, it wasn't that good anyway.
Yeah,
it wasn't good. It was a B movie.
Don't worry about it. It was kind of
supposed to be silly. Like, they knew what they were making when they made the original Roadhouse. That's why it was so good, because they fell into exactly what they were trying to do.
He ripped people's throats out. Like,
yeah. He was a tough guy that didn't fight. He was just kind of like, I'm tough. I'm from a different town.
Well, the whole movie is him going around just like seeing who's tough.
Yeah.
It was like, are you tough? Are you going to prove it?
Like,
Are you tough?
You don't have a coiffed hairdo like I do.
And then he found a bunch of people that had the potential for toughness and then held school in a bar until they were as tough as they needed to be.
Hey, I feel like you could beat the shit out of somebody. Hey, come here real quick.
You might be able to in a couple of weeks of training with Patrick Swayze.
but yeah, this Roadhouse is a lot more obviously modern. It's set now instead of 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And they really filled out the backstory
Oh yeah.
of Dalton, or what's his first name? Elwood Dalton.
Elwood Dalton, yeah.
I
Our
don't know how I
lone
remember.
cowboy riding into Palm Beach, Florida.
cheers and his jalopy.
His
But
fucking
kinda-
jalopy.
I see where you're coming from. Every advertisement I saw for this made a big deal of his UFC background.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was 90 seconds in the film.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
that.
It was
It was
like
like
2 minutes.
flashbacks.
It was when he was sleeping in the houseboat.
Yeah, it's
That
those
was
damn
all-
boat
that's-
dreams.
That's all we got other than other people talking about
Yeah.
it, which
Yeah.
is kind of weird.
I just love that they had to throw in a line of dialogue like, "Oh yeah, man, those boat dreams, they'll make you think of crazy stuff when you're
Yeah,
dreaming."
just to excuse it. It's like, we know it's a silly movie. Just do the
it's
weird
like
stuff.
it's fine if the hero of the action movie has a troubled past that we have to talk about.
Gotta have those nightmare scenes where they're like, like tossing and turning and like dreaming of their most traumatic moment ever.
Yeah.
This is the first time they've ever done that. So, like, that's an original idea.
Oh,
having
yeah,
a troubled
yeah.
past and then
Yeah,
showing
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
so it's
it
like,
definitely
we can
wasn't-
see why they had to explain it because
Yeah.
we, as the audience, had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
We just didn't know.
Oh my god.
One thing I want to say that was positive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of positives. It was cool.
Yeah, I genuinely
But
like this movie.
One genuine thing that I liked was that it didn't try to. It definitely didn't try to be the original.
Yeah, no.
And it definitely didn't try to remind you of the original.
Yeah, that's
Like,
actually
it was
true.
Like so many remakes are like, did you like how we did the set? We made the
called
set.
back to
That's
this
the
one
original.
thing.
That's the original door from the original movie.
Yeah.
And we put it in, and it's like they didn't try to give you nostalgia. It's like, well, it's different now, and because of that, I was okay with it. If
Yeah.
they'd have done, now I'm sure there's little things.
Yeah, I'm sure there was
little
like Easter
egg
eggs
things here
that
and there.
nobody's gonna fucking pay
Yeah.
attention
Right.
to.
But they didn't just blatantly go, here's something everyone's going to recognize. Let's just put it in, and then people will remember the old movie while they're watching this one, and they might like it more.
Right.
It's like this one was like,
Yeah, it was
same
like
story, but we're going to change all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was able to breathe as its own thing, and it was kind of it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a good time. I do like one of my favorite things in this whole movie were the bands that played at
Yes!
this dive bar.
Oh my god,
They were so
Killer bands?
good. Like, and they're real bands in real life.
Like
that
I
they
love
brought
that they
in.
were all credited at the end there. So we were
Actually,
trying to find
also
them.
when you're watching it on
What is it on
whatever we were
Amazon?
watching.
Amazon
Yeah,
on the side
they
there.
give you
Yeah.
the information while the movie's playing, so if you
Yeah.
pause it, you can see the name of the band. So I just, I don't have the full list of bands, but
And then
man,
go
they
check
were all
out the
good.
band and stop watching the film.
Yeah.
I just had one question about one of these bands. They had like that dual drummer setup going,
Yeah.
and I was like, "How the hell do you guys do that? That's pretty
Yeah.
cool."
They actually put the sound in afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see,
Yeah.
I see.
But they were all like, they were
All right,
great.
fine.
Like,
Sorry.
Yeah.
and every night a different band. You never
Oh my
saw the
God,
same
yeah.
band for like 2 weeks.
I'm like, that's why I
crazy.
don't get why this lady's having problems. Like, you have a great establishment. Like,
It was packed.
yeah, every night you got a
why.
new band touring in.
Wow.
Like, come on.
The establishment was so good, it attracted drug dealers that have dreams of real estate.
Well, everybody wants to own a couple of properties, rent them out, passive
that's-
income.
I mean, that's a pretty. It's been done in a few movies where they're like, oh,
There's always a
the
rich white
holdout,
guy.
The
Yeah.
holdout. Ugh.
But can we just talk about Jake Gyllenhaal in this? Because
Well, yes,
You mean the
the main character.
main actor?
yeah. Well, I mean, dude got in fucking shape. Like, my God.
He was not really a tiny guy to begin with.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm
But-
trying to remember when he made this turn to like muscle guy. But
Instead
like,
of just like the doofy sidekick.
because like, we saw him in Prisoners, and I don't think he was like fucking cut like this.
No, he
No.
also didn't take his shirt off in that movie.
Yeah, he should have though. Would have been a better movie. We need some levity in that one. Come
No,
on.
that was good. That was good.
Ooh,
But yeah, he
Prisoners.
did get jacked up. I don't think he's that tall, but he's not like average guy. Probably put
Yeah,
on
like I
10 or
believed
20
his build
pounds for
as a
that.
UFC fighter, or at least like an ex-UFC fighter that's staying in shape.
Yeah, he's got that like thick muscle. You know?
Yeah.
He's like a little thick.
Like, you could cut him with an axe, and he probably wouldn't
No,
feel
he
it.
would die. Yeah.
He got stabbed a couple times.
Yeah, and he took it like a champ. Took it like a champ.
Yeah.
But also, it's a movie, so.
It's a movie.
Can I also ask the
Healed
question?
in a day, whatever.
Yeah. Hey, just put duct tape over it. No, I earned it. I want to feel it.
It's just bleeding, and he drove all the way to Florida.
Yeah. And then he walked like 17 miles to get to the roadhouse.
Because he got hit by a train?
Yeah, well, he got hit by a car.
That was his own doing, the train
Oh,
thing.
yes.
Why? Why did he?
He tried to kill himself and then decided, never mind.
That's what that was?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he took it as a sign to be a bouncer at the roadhouse.
Well, he did not know that the world still needed him
Yeah.
for yet
Yeah.
another adventure.
Yeah, he needed to stroll into town like our lone gunslinger.
And he's not the hero, but he's not the villain either.
be hard to shoot that gun if I break your index finger and thumb.
Yeah,
Dude.
he's all no weapons. Like,
Yeah.
he just breaks your bones.
That's the guy that gets shot first.
My favorite thing is the twisting the arm until
Oh
it
my god, it
snaps.
snaps. No, but see, I love how how they portray like the bad guys, because they make this situation of him not using guns or anything work, because all the bad guys are like doofy rich white dudes who aren't actually tough. They don't know what they're doing. So when a guy who actually knows what he's doing and you're like, all you're doing is flashing a gun to him, like, yeah, he's gonna fucking take you out.
Yeah, he's definitely not scared by
Yeah, no,
violence
like
threats.
that's like the cool, like kind of a cool way of doing it.
Suicidal with a death wish. He's pretty calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I liked how they portrayed him in the remake. Like, I thought it was a cool change for him.
Yeah, he wasn't cocky. He was just cool
Yeah.
and
He
like
just-
calm.
He was like just enough bored to be like,
Yes.
all right, he knows what's going on.
This piques my interest.
Yeah, like-
Dad.
He's bored with all this fist fighting.
Yeah, like his first fight scene when he's just like, all right, do you have insurance? Like good health insurance? Like, how about dental?
I hated that so much. I
mean,
hated it so much.
it-
That's the point.
it's the
that's
dry
that's
humor.
the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're just gonna get shot if you do that. Like, if realistically, if
Yeah, you'll
if you're
probably get
saying shit
shot.
like that, someone's just gonna be like, "This was gonna be a fair fight. Meet my AK-47."
But instead, he slaps them all.
Oh my god.
Starts slapping their faces. It's
No,
the best
and,
part.
I don't know about you.
Sucks.
Like, I don't know about you, Michael, but we kept saying like our favorite character is that one doofy henchman.
His
was
name's
just
like Mo or something.
the hospital's like 25
Yeah, he's
minutes.
like, yeah,
give or
about-
take traffic.
He's like, yeah, about 25 minutes.
Every time he sees him, he's like, hey man, how you doing? I was just
Then his
leaving.
boss is always just like looking at him like, "How have you survived this
Yeah.
criminal
Yeah, seriously.
underworld we live in?"
I just love, like, at the end, like, he's got his arm broken. He's like, yeah, no, like, these guys weren't like who I thought they were when I
Turns
first joined
out-
up.
Turns out it's like way different than what I want for my life.
It's like it's just kind of hard to ride a bike in Florida and not have like a group.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He just kind of fell into it.
Yeah. Oh my god, he was our favorite character.
Yeah.
We were dying every time he showed up. Especially
Yeah.
in that big bar fight scene when Conor Macgregor first shows up, and he's just walking with a table in his hands. He's like, "Oh hey man."
Oh, hey, man.
I love that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's great.
It's silly.
That's the
There's a lot
yeah.
of silly. But what's hard for me is silly, and then you try to be serious with the love interest.
Yeah, that.
And
kinda
I
makes
was
sense.
like, someone making that movie owed that actress money, so they put her in the film.
yeah.
Also, speaking of the love interest
Yeah,
plot,
yeah.
that whole thing was insane. Like, they just throw in this whole like, oh, the love interest is the sheriff's daughter, and he's
Yeah.
crooked,
He's a
and
corrupt
he's
cop.
connected to the guy who's trying to take down the roadhouse. And it's like, what the? They just drop this on you.
Yeah.
It's like the writers was like, we know where she needs to be in the film.
Yeah.
Now we're just gonna fill in how it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, she runs the hospital. She's the best ER nurse or what trauma what
I think
person.
she's a doctor, but then
ever.
also she's the daughter
The
of the
daughter
sheriff.
of the sheriff and knows where that one sandbar is.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. If somebody took me on a date to a sandbar, I'm like,
No,
you're trying to kill me,
You're
aren't you?
about to die. You're 100% about to
They
drain
could
my
just
blood and sell
Yeah.
it.
drown you and throw you over the
Yeah,
sandbar.
nobody would know.
As soon as they slowed the boat down, I couldn't see anything. I was like, "Here's the sandbar scene." I was like, "Oh my word, this can't be what's happening." It was what was happening.
Yeah, and they didn't even show the sex.
And then I just, because, like, if you're gonna put romance in like your cheesy action movie, I get it. It's gotta happen. the muscle bound hunk has to fall in love with somebody.
Right.
But like if you're gonna do the same tropes every time and write the same dialogue where it's like, oh no, you don't want to mess with me, I'm bad news, like I'll ruin your life, and then the girl is always like, don't tell me what I want,
Right.
I'm
I'm
tough
strong
too.
and independent. And it's like, all right, I get it, but like that's never how this works.
But it also didn't end like in a cheesy way.
Right.
Like they split ways. They never really did anything after that
he just
first
kind
date.
Oh,
he
'cause
ghosted her.
At least they
Yeah.
had enough foresight to be like, if they leave together in the film, we're gonna get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna kill us for
Yeah.
this.
Right.
That would have been a crime against audiences everywhere.
Somebody would have had a
But
Too
there's-
cliche.
There's a
Yeah.
couple things like that, and then like giving all of the money to the bookstore guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Why didn't he
used
split it up for
50
the?
grand,
Yeah,
and he'd have been fine, and he'd have had a whole new
Yeah.
bookstore. It's like,
but he didn't give any to the Roadhouse after he crashed a boat and a car through that.
Yeah, he just
Well,
left and didn't say anything.
Yeah, didn't say shit to him.
if she had $5 grand a week to pay the bouncer,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
She's
true.
probably fine.
Now you got $5 grand.
a bouncer that she met in a different state at a barn,
At a
barnyard.
at a Post Malone backyard barbecue.
That was cool. That was cool. Well, just see Post Malone giving the overhand rights to that guy at the start of
Yeah.
the movie. I was like, you get him, Post.
No,
you get him. I was like, yeah. And
I
then he
was just
wasn't in the
so
movie.
sad. Yeah.
And I was like, thank you for not stretching that past what
Right.
it was. That
Yeah.
was cool. Now he's gone.
Yeah, because like he was in what was it, Wrath of Man that we did? I can't remember. He was in some
I'm not
movie
sure.
that
he was,
we did.
He was in the movie. He was a prisoner.
Oh,
He was in jail.
Yes.
In
Yeah.
the one film we did.
Yeah,
too.
I can't
Like,
remember what it was.
And he was in it for a little bit. And
Yeah,
like I don't mind celebrity cameos
just keep him
in
small.
bite-sized pieces.
Right.
Now, the second half of the movie having Conor McGregor in it, maybe a bit much.
Yeah, why
the
did
He was
we-
in it too much.
Who decided Conor McGregor was a movie star now? Like he's
See,
it was
he's
his
a subpar
debut.
UFC fighter now.
It was his first acting
Yeah,
role, right?
like it literally said introducing Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
It's like we all know who Conor McGregor is.
Well,
this isn't
Not
like,
in Hollywood.
To a different format.
yeah,
like, this is a
this
different
isn't
format for
introducing
him.
Kevin Bacon, where like that's his first movie in Friday the 13th. Like, yeah, introduce him. But like
Well, I
Conor
think-
McGregor, everybody knows Conor
I think
McGregor.
the decision for that was they did the UFC backstory,
Mm-hmm.
and that might have been the only way to get him, or that might have been a way to entice him to the
Yeah.
film, or they just paid him a lot of money.
Yeah, well,
or
like,
he's
he
been
really-
trying to break into that scene. Like we don't know what his behind the
Motive.
scenes is.
Yeah.
He,
Well, like-
he went from fighter to social media person. Like
Right.
he went from
to whiskey
I know this
salesman.
one thing. Now he's a personality.
Right.
Now he's trying to market himself. What's the best way to make the most amount of money?
Right. Yeah,
while
that's true.
while having a need to be on people's televisions.
Right.
It's being movies.
Well,
yeah,
like-
and you don't have to actually get beat up if you're in a movie. you
Right.
know?
right.
Well, for the most part.
Shit, I forget what I was gonna say, but I had a point about Conor McGregor.
His cheesy smile.
No, if so, it almost kind of takes you out of the movie because you put a famous UFC star in a world where the UFC exists. So I'm like, you think Jake Gyllenhaal would have had like a
Would have
run-in
been like,
with him before?
Yo, Conor
Like, oh, shit,
McGregor,
Conor
that's
McGregor.
crazy.
No, my name's actually Dax right now. It's like, oh no,
That is-
Conor.
That's a good point. That is a little strange. Or, yeah, anyone that gets famous doing anything else and then is in a movie containing what they get famous for,
Yeah.
you're always a little bit like,
It's like, wait a second.
Hang
I already
on.
know you from the UFC.
Hang on.
Wouldn't the famous UFC star know the other UFC fighter?
Well, he wasn't a UFC fighter in the movie.
right. Yeah. That's
so
true.
I think it's fine. I think they're just trying to pull that crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
And,
just
yeah,
trying to get those views, and
which-
it's in
yeah.
that same realm of like action punching movies.
right
Yeah.
because like the
UFC.
fights were really good.
but they'd have pulled most people just by having Conor McGregor.
Yeah, seriously.
It's a name.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when they put Ronda Rousey in Expendables 3. It's like you wanted to pull in the UFC crowd when she was at the height of her popularity, so throw her in an action movie.
I liked Ronda Rousey and Expendables more, and I like Conor McGregor.
Yeah, she at least they
Tried?
didn't let her talk much,
which is
is
they knew what they were
great
doing.
because she like the lines that she got were just like, yeah, fuck you, I'm tough.
Yeah.
It's like cool. I can buy that. Like,
for the first the first iteration of a movie is a completely different world than the WWE or Olympic judo medalist. You know, it's slightly different worlds. So they could have. I mean, they didn't give him much dialogue or long dialogue.
Right.
He would do a sentence or two.
Yeah, they gave him the Schwarzenegger
and then
treatment.
the one-liners.
He would just kind of look at you, and then you started doing. then you started doing what he asked you to do.
I will say his character made some poor decisions, like letting the guy go that you went into the bar to beat up, and then letting him go a second time and killing the guy who was paying you to kill him. So I didn't understand the point of his character even being in it necessarily. I know, in the original, yes, there was that role of somebody hired to kill the bouncer. But yeah, I didn't really like his character.
Yeah, he was basically just there as a name.
Well, and like, and it's
it really shows.
Who do we get to play this very cookie cutter,
like eccentric
villain? No, just cookie cutter villain.
Oh,
who do we get to play a cookie cutter villain?
He just
some
has
guy
to be
that'll sell millions more tickets. Yeah, let's do that one.
He's just the guns.
But my favorite thing in the whole movie was him parking. Him parking. Yes. He only parked twice.
And he crashed.
The first one was when the little dinky Volkswagen or whatever it was, and just crunches the tree. And I'm watching the movie, and I was there's no way he did it. And then they did it again with a much nicer car, and I was like, okay, that's allowed now. Yeah. It's allowed. I like it. I take it back.
Fun.
I like it.
I do like some of those comedic moments that are like nobody's saying anything. It's just he's just running the ones where you don't into a tree.
The ones where you don't have to talk.
Yeah,
that's where it works.
My favorite line from him is when he's first introduced, and like the dude trying to buy the Roadhouse shows up, and kind of like, I got a message from your father, and he just goes, "Pah!"
Just punches him.
He looks the other way.
Yeah, but he literally just makes the noise like, "Pah!" Like pops him. It's like, what the fuck?
He actually did
probably
that,
how his dad described it on the phone. He's like, I'm getting paid to do this. Whack.
That's why the flamingos are here.
Yeah.
Leave the flamingos alone. It's summertime.
But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun with this. I know it's terrible. It's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination.
It's a popcorn movie.
Yes.
Popcorn summer movie.
It's pour yourself a freaking margarita, sit down, and watch a beautiful location, and people get thrown through windows.
Watch a CGI'd beautiful location.
Yes, very much CGI'd beautiful location.
CGI boats.
The worst iteration of CGI that was visible is most of the time, like, we all really like movies. That's why we're doing this. Most of the time, I ignore that crap while the movie's going on because it's like I'm in the story.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about this type of entertainment is what's around your TV in a good movie will go away.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't see your apartment or your house. It's just a story.
Right.
And you can get inside that. But the one thing that pulled me out was when he gets hit by the truck or whatever.
Oh my God!
It was
they
so
pushed
bad
it.
looking. They pushed it in frames.
Yeah,
like they pushed it, and I was just like, that was a couple of frames extra, fellas.
Yeah,
like,
no, it almost looked like the truck like shrank as it came in. It's almost like they tried to do like a 3D effect, but it didn't work.
They're just cutting so it moves faster, and then like, let's blur this.
Just put some motion blur.
Motion blur from here back.
At the end of the movie, you gotta wrap it up. They were running out of budget.
They're like, all right, take a third of the frames out. It didn't look like. And even if you get hit by a car going 25, it's still you're still getting hit by a car.
Yeah.
And that was the one thing where I noticed other things like.
Yeah, like the boat fight at the end.
The boat fight and the stab wounds, and it's like, okay. I was hoping they actually killed Conor McGregor, but no.
Stop that guy from being
liabilities.
In movies,
they had to use props, but
yeah, I mean, it was
the one thing.
It was a 2-hour movie, but it also doesn't really feel like it. Like it wasn't super drawn out. It was still a fun time. Would recommend if you like shirtless dudes and punching.
Hell,
shirtless dudes and punching, and then the witty bookstore gal.
Yeah. No, she was great.
She's ready to rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
They show up and her
she's
dad's like,
bat in hand
out the back right now, and she's like,
She's like,
But I have
Dad,
a baseball bat.
I'm about to
ready."
crack some skulls.
Not my favorite bookstore. Me. And then he had the silly thing. He had those like, they have a book on the town or whatever.
yeah.
So he like threw out some tidbits from the book, and I'm
Right.
like, that's not really enough to make her a viable character in this film, but we appreciate the attempt.
No, but I just love. I mean, this is my last thing, and I swear I'm done talking about this movie. But I just love when Jake Gyllenhaal shows up to the dude's house, and like the guy's like giving him shit, and he's like, yeah, we burned down that bookstore. It was pretty cool. And Jake Gyllenhaal's like, oh yeah, watch this, and he like punches him in the throat, and he's like, yeah, I just crushed your trachea. So here's what's about to happen. You're not gonna be able to breathe, and I'm about to watch you drown in a pool.
Sherlock Holmes started
Badass.
Yeah,
it. Sherlock Holmes started that.
it was
just throwing that out there.
It's such a cool way. I mean, I can't compare it to like how they introduce like John Wick as like the death
please
machine
don't.
that he is.
We'll get
But
killed.
like, I like when they do this with characters where they give them some scene where it's just like, oh, you were holding back this
Yep.
whole time, and
Yep.
now you're like, all right, you're
like,
going guns ablazing.
turn it up
Yeah.
just another
Yeah.
level.
But yeah, I'm a sucker for these cheesy action films.
And it was that's
yeah.
what it was.
And in 40 years, we're going to look back on this and be like, remember that movie from the 2020s?
Do you remember watching The Roadhouse?
How far have we jumped? And gee whiz, when I
Yeah,
sound
we're
like
really
that,
old.
shoot me in the face. But summer movie, cool landscape, cool story, attractive people,
Let's get
What
it.
more could you ask for?
minimal dialogue, blood, punches. I'm dealing with things.
Yeah.
Get everything you want.
Everything.
But we're gonna do some summer ones.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some summer of fun here
Yeah.
at every film in the book.
all summer, May through August.
May through the summer.
Yeah.
Through the
We're-
summer.
We're doing
We're-
summer fun.
We're doing
movies.
summer fun.
I think
so-
it's Memorial Day to Labor Day.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
we looked at what we had done. We were like, at the start of the year, we kind of came out with some serious, a little heavy subject matter. So it's like, you know
Time to
what?
have some freaking fun.
All fun all summer. We've got umbrellas,
Yeah.
flamingos,
Tiki
cups.
Expect them every
Hats.
episode.
We might get a bit extravagant with
Yeah.
wardrobes, or perhaps, if it's too hot, maybe no wardrobe.
Yeah, stay tuned.
You'll have to find
Ooh.
out.
Well, yeah. Do you guys want to tell them what to join us for next week? Or do you
What
want
are we doing? I thought we were just ending
Yeah,
it there.
2 weeks from now, we're doing
yeah.
some.
more shirtless dudes? It's Baywatch, baby.
You might sense a theme,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, and it definitely wasn't my choice to have a bunch of shirtless dudes.
Well, check us out next time on Every Summer Film in the Book.
Yeah.
Summer book
Bye.
at the beach. Bye.
You're gonna need a bigger boat. I lied.
He touched the butt.
The Force will be with you. Always. Why is the rum always gone? Go ahead. Make my day.